There are news outlets reporting the worst right now, Glenn. I don't know what I'm waiting for before I report it. You know, I trust just the news. I trust Deseret. What are we waiting for, like, the AP to say it? We don't trust them more than we trust these. They're reporting that Charlie has died. That he's dead. At the age of 31. Which he would have to be if that video was real.
There's no way he survived that. The only good thing is, it had to have happened quickly.
Right. Right. If you see the video, you do not see any suffering.
No.
He appears to have been spared the horrific moments after that the girl on the Charlotte train wasn't, when she knew she was dying or she knew something terrible had happened.
I don't think
In the
Charlie
videos,
did.
it's clear Charlie went down. He went down quickly.
A shocking incident at what was supposed to be a quiet university event has the entire world buzzing. Reports claim that Charlie Kirk was shot at, and the reactions since then have been nothing short of explosive. From shock and outrage to wild conspiracy theories, the fallout is spreading faster than anyone could have imagined. But here's the twist. What people are saying in the aftermath may be even more shocking than the event itself. The global response to this unbelievable moment is raising questions everywhere, leaving many to wonder what's really going on.
Pray, God, that he survived this. Pray for his family, pray for his children, his 2 young children. And ask ourselves what our country is coming to. How does this happen? How does somebody whose only job is to comment on political matters wind up a target for an assassin? This is the United States of America. We have commentators. We have provocative commentators. This is what we've been doing since the dawn.
If you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. The atmosphere at Utah Valley University shifted from tense anticipation to chaos in a matter of seconds. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, had just taken the stage at an outdoor courtyard event when the sound of a single gunshot shattered the moment. Authorities confirmed that a bullet was fired in his direction, striking him and sending panicked students and attendees running for safety. Within minutes, the suspect was taken into custody as federal agents converged on the scene. What unfolded was far more than a campus incident. It instantly became a national flashpoint. Kirk is no ordinary speaker. With millions of social media followers, one of the most influential conservative podcasters, and a central figure in the MAGA movement, any act of violence against him was bound to reverberate across the country. And that's exactly what happened.
Phillips, we're coming on the air because ABC News has confirmed conservative activist and podcaster Charlie Kirk has been shot during an event at Utah Valley University. The founder of Turning Point USA, a conservative student organization, is known for his outspoken views on politics, culture, religion, often taking his messages to colleges and universities, sparking sometimes pretty heated debate.
Reactions poured in within minutes, lighting up political networks, dominating news cycles, and sparking fierce debates about security, free speech, and the increasingly hostile climate surrounding political figures. The first responses came from Utah officials, who quickly assured the public that the suspect had been detained and there was no ongoing threat to the campus. But that reassurance did little to slow the flood of emotions, theories, and political posturing that exploded online. Supporters of Kirk framed the attack as a dangerous escalation in the targeting of conservative voices, drawing comparisons to recent assassination attempts on other high-profile figures. Within hours, hashtags demanding justice for Charlie Kirk were trending across multiple platforms, transforming what could have remained a localized campus incident into a full-blown national rallying cry.
It We know his condition is unknown at the moment. That is all his representatives are saying, but it is a deeply disturbing scene. When you watch that video, we now await for word, obviously, on Charlie Kirk's condition. But as you will hear from Jason Chaffetz, for everybody there, it was a stunning and terrifying moment. And all we can do right now, Martha, is await word on Charlie.
The political class wasted no time weighing in. Utah Senator Mike Lee quickly signaled he was monitoring developments, urging calm while stressing the seriousness of violence aimed at public figures. Soon, national voices followed. Former President Donald Trump, long tied to Kirk, took to his platform to call for prayers and frame the shooting as an attack not just on one man, but on an entire movement. Vice President J.D. Vance echoed the sentiment, highlighting Kirk's role as both a father and a driving force in conservative youth outreach. Within conservative circles, the response was immediate and emotional. Members and affiliates of Turning Point USA amplified statements of solidarity, portraying Kirk not just as a political leader under fire, but as a symbol of resistance against what they see as growing intolerance toward right-leaning voices on college campuses. But the reaction wasn't confined to one side. Across the broader political and media landscape, debates erupted over campus security protocols. How did a shooter manage to get so close? Why wasn't there a tighter perimeter around an outdoor stage? And why, after repeated warnings from law enforcement about threats to political figures, did security at such a high-profile event appear so vulnerable?
Conservative activist, writer and broadcaster, a high-profile supporter of President Donald Trump. He hosts a weekly podcast and radio program and is known to many other people as the founder and president of Turning Point, a non-profit organisation that promotes conservative ideas among high school and college students. We understand that he was speaking at Utah Valley University. Some videos circulating online clearly indicate that a shot.
Federal law enforcement agencies, including the FBI and ATF, moved in almost immediately. Officials confirmed that agents were on the ground, treating the shooting as a serious act of political violence. The Justice Department called it senseless and vowed to leave no stone unturned in uncovering the suspect's motives. Investigators began combing through digital records, affiliations, and online chatter to determine whether this was an isolated attack or part of something much bigger. The timing couldn't have been more explosive. America is already navigating a climate of extreme polarization, with recent assassination attempts on other political figures still fresh in memory. Adding an attack on Charlie Kirk, a high-profile, outspoken conservative, to that backdrop only deepened fears that political violence is becoming dangerously normalized. On campus, students described the scene as surreal. One moment Kirk was speaking, the next chaos erupted, screams, panic, and a frantic rush for safety. Some witnesses even reported a stampede effect as attendees collided in their rush to escape the courtyard. Emergency crews swarmed the area within minutes, securing the scene and rushing Kirk to urgent medical care. Utah Valley University released a swift statement confirming the shooting and reassuring the public that the suspect was already in custody.
From the president himself, Martha, which I'll read to you now, President Trump says, "We must all pray for Charlie Kirk, who has been shot. A great guy from top to bottom. God bless."
Internally, university administrators are now under fire for their handling of the event. Critics argue that hosting such a divisive figure in an open-air courtyard demanded far more security than what was in place. The controversy wasn't new. Days before the event, heated debates spread across campus about whether Charlie Kirk should even be given a platform. For some, his presence symbolized the endorsement of views they opposed. For others, it was a test of free speech, ensuring all perspectives had a voice. That divide exploded the moment the gunshot rang out. Opponents of Kirk's visit were quick to condemn the violence, stressing that disagreement never meant support for bloodshed. But the larger narrative was unavoidable. Political polarization in America is crossing into dangerous territory. Within hours, international outlets picked up the story, reframing it as another sign of America's deep fractures. The image of a conservative activist being shot while addressing young voters at a university fed global fears that the U.S. is spiraling into a period where political disputes no longer end in debate, but in physical violence.
Charlie Kirk, my friend, the head of Turning Point USA, radio show host, father, more importantly, husband, was shot at an event at, where was it, guys? Utah Valley University, just about an hour ago. It looks pretty horrific. There's a lot of stuff breaking.
Meanwhile, Kirk's allies wasted no time drawing parallels to past political violence. Some compared the shooting to the 2017 attack on Congressman Steve Scalise at a congressional baseball practice, while others pointed to more recent attempts on Donald Trump. Their argument was clear: conservative figures are being uniquely targeted, and law enforcement has not fully reckoned with the risks. Kirk's influence explains why the attack struck such a nerve. He isn't just a commentator, he's a strategist whose organization has helped drive voter turnout in key battleground states. Analysts have credited his ground game with shaping electoral outcomes, and his constant media appearances and presence at Republican conventions have cemented him as a cultural megaphone for Trump-era conservatism. But beyond politics, Kirk is also a family man, the father of 2 young children. That personal detail deepened the public reaction, framing the shooting not only as a political strike, but also as a human tragedy. The sympathy extended beyond ideological lines, reminding people that behind the movement and the headlines is a husband and father whose life was put at risk.
By that, and you can hear the crowd audibly panicking and beginning to run. We're told by our partners at NBC here in the United States that one person is in custody. We are getting some response to this. We're told there is a very palpable sense of shock at the White House. The Vice President, J.D. Vance, is encouraging people to pray for Charlie Kirk. He says he is a genuinely good guy and a good father. We're also hearing from the FBI Director Kash Patel, who says our thoughts are with Charlie, his loved ones, and everyone affected. Agents will be on the scene quickly, and the FBI stands in full support of the
image of a young father being shot while speaking to students resonated deeply, even among some who did not share Kirk's political beliefs. Still, the divisions were clear. While the majority condemned the violence, social media exposed darker corners of the conversation, with some users mocking the incident or dismissing its seriousness. Security experts quickly entered the discussion, highlighting the inherent risks of outdoor events. They drew comparisons to the Butler, Pennsylvania incident last summer, when another political figure was nearly assassinated at an open-air rally. Such venues, they argued, create vulnerabilities unless they are heavily fortified. And in Kirk's case, the security measures may not have been enough. As the hours turned into days, the narrative only grew. National media outlets dissected every detail, from Kirk's role in the conservative movement to the symbolism of an attack taking place on a college campus, to the involvement of federal agencies. Layered over all of it were the broader implications for an already volatile election season, where tensions are running high and acts of political violence feel increasingly like part of the national story. In conservative spaces, the shooting has been elevated as proof of the risks faced by those who challenge progressive orthodoxy on college campuses. For many, it underscores not just intolerance, but the real dangers of speaking openly in environments they view as hostile. Vigils and prayer gatherings quickly appeared, blending the political and personal dimensions of the tragedy. While the investigation is still ongoing, one thing is certain: the shooting of Charlie Kirk has already reshaped the national conversation. It has reignited urgent debates about security for public figures, particularly in open venues. It has deepened partisan narratives about who is most at risk and why. And it has raised profound questions about free speech, political tolerance, and the state of safety in America. What began as a campus event meant to spark dialogue has instead left the nation grappling with another act of political violence in an already volatile era. The world is watching, and the echoes of that single gunshot will not fade anytime soon.